Yo, what up guys, it's me Zachary. Thank you for coming back for more daily NBA news. You guys already know that you are the real MVPs, and hey, if this is your first time here, then welcome. You guys are also greatly appreciated. Now let's just hop into everything that went down yesterday. Lego Golden State Burners. They're one more incident like this away from having to change their actual name. And I never would have thought that besides Kevin Durant, who was caught for this earlier in the summer, that the next guy to be caught with a fake Twitter account would be Steve Kerr. Last night after the Spurs-Rockets game, the NBA released a clip of James Harden getting a bucket, and apparently he traveled in the video but wasn't called during the game. And Steve Kerr did respond to this video but accidentally used his real account. It's an embarrassment. I think the league is so happy with all the scoring that it doesn't even enforce stuff like that. Of course, this tweet was quickly deleted by Steve Kerr, but it was already too late. I wonder though, did KD get it from Kerr? Did Kerr get it from KD? And how many of these other, not just NBA players, but high profile athletes or celebrities in general do you think have burner accounts? While we're on the topic of Warriors related news, I might as well get this out there too. Most of the time when we're watching player interviews is to see what a player has to say about a certain topic. And KD did touch on a recent certain topic that we will talk about after this, but while Kevin Durant was giving the interview, something broke out behind the scenes. It seemed like a couple of cameramen were ready to throw down. Take a look.
I'm going as far as I can. This is the point of like, why do I even have to hear it? I will knock you the out. I will knock you the out right here.
Hey guys, come on.
Put your hands on me.
Come on.
Cut it out. This is right here. What are we doing? Like, what are we doing?
We're talking about basketball.
Yeah, like, what are we doing?
What? I do think it was good of Kevin Durant to step in when he did before things escalated even more, and he is a much bigger man than I am for doing that, because I know if that was me, if that was Kevin Durant, I wouldn't have said anything. I would have wanted to see where that was going to lead to, and if I were one of the other cameramen, I would have been like, forget what Kevin Durant is talking about, let me record the real action. Like I said though, Kevin Durant did talk about a certain topic yesterday, and that topic was none other than the possibility of LeBron James going to the Golden State Warriors after ESPN released an article saying that LeBron James would consider signing with the Golden State Warriors. And that is a rumor that Kevin Durant does not believe, but at the same time, he said crazier things have happened and really anything is possible.
What was the first thing that went through your mind when you saw that?
Bullshit. Bullshit, but you know, in this league, you know, just like a couple years ago, me coming here, nobody would have thought that. So it's part of me as a basketball player that's just like, let's just worry about basketball. And then on the other side, we know it's a business as well, and a lot of crazy things have happened since I've been in the league, and a lot of, and even when years in you know, in the future is going to be even crazier things that's going to happen. So I just want people to enjoy what really goes on in the free line.
He basically said, look, even I didn't know I was going to come to Golden State until I wound up signing with the Golden State Warriors. That thought right there alone is actually pretty scary. Shots are still being fired at Isaiah Thomas as he continues to be the sacrificial lamb for everything that is wrong with the Cavs this year. Yesterday, there was a lot of discussion as to whether or not he should even be playing for the Cavs right now. And if instead of the Cavs, he should be playing in the G League since he's been playing so poorly. Right now, the best place for Isaiah Thomas will be in the G League. He's costing the Cavs games right now. IT will be better if he was costing the Canton Charge games. Isaiah Thomas actually did play in a couple of G League games before he joined the Cleveland Cavaliers, and he's played in 11 actual games so far this season, which I think still might be too early to say whether or not he will get back to his old form. But at the same time, it is getting kind of concerning that he's not showing any signs of progress. Outside of the first 2 games that he's played, he has been absolutely not good for the Cleveland Cavaliers so far this year. Of course, he's gonna say that he's still adjusting, but at what point are we going to start seeing progress? 11 games is too early to say that it's not going to work, but it's also around the time where he should start at least looking like he's playing better. And this is just my thought right here. Isaiah Thomas, Jay Crowder, and Avery Bradley, all those guys played for the Boston Celtics last season, and all those guys looked really freaking good in the roles that they had for the Celtics last year. So is it possible that in the Boston Celtics system, they look better than they actually are? And now that they're not in that system anymore, we're seeing them for the players that they actually are. Something to think about. Real quick, reports came out yesterday saying that the Cleveland Cavaliers would actually consider trading the Brooklyn Nets draft pick, but only for a very specific type of player. The Cavs may be open to trading the Brooklyn pick, but it has to be for a long-term solution. It's not a question of them trading it, it's about what would they trade it for. I don't see a player on the market that's a slam dunk, so it's hard to see a trade. Sounds like they would want a young star that's still on a rookie contract, so if that's all they'd be willing to trade it for, then they're not going to be trading the Brooklyn Nets pick, because no one's going to be willing to give that type of player up for the Brooklyn Nets pick. I mean, it doesn't even look like that Nets pick is going to be a top 5 pick in the draft. We got another update on Gordon Hayward from Danny Ainge yesterday, as he says this is about to be a huge month for the possible return of Gordon Hayward. This is a big time this next month, because Gordon will start he's been so restricted. He's just been biting at the bit to do more and more, and the doctors have been holding him back a bit to make sure he's all healed. But now he's gonna start running on the Alter G treadmill, and that's a big step. An Alter G treadmill is basically an anti-gravity treadmill, so he'll be able to do the motion of running again. He'll be able to get his heart beating again without putting any pressure on his joint. This is like one of the last steps before a player actually starts running and doing all these other motions without help from machines like an Alter G gravity treadmill anti thing. So this is a huge step for Gordon Hayward, and still 2 months left in the regular season. So it seems like it's gonna be all up to the Boston Celtics and whether or not they feel it's worth bringing Gordon Hayward back this season. Nikola Mirotic has officially been traded from the Bulls to the Pelicans. And Mirotic had been playing well for the Bulls so far this year too, putting up 16 points and 7 rebounds while shooting the ball extremely well from the field. I mean, it's just that after he had his face broken by Bobby Portis that he wanted out. And this deal has actually been completed twice. It's just the first time a few days ago it fell through. Rumors came out saying that Nikola Mirotic used his no trade clause to veto the trade because he didn't want to go to the Pelicans, and it seems like those rumors could actually be true, because in order to get the deal done, the New Orleans Pelicans had to guarantee the second year of Nikola Mirotic's contract. He signed a 2-year deal over the summer with the Bulls, the second year being a team option, and I guess some way by guaranteeing the second year of the deal, he wasn't able to veto the trade. They could just do the trade without his consent. And really, this wasn't even the biggest trade for the Chicago Bulls. Pretty much all they got for him was the first round pick of the Pelicans this year. Other than that, they had to take on the contract of Omer Asik. They got Tony Allen, who's going to be waived, and they did get Jameer Nelson, who they say they plan on keeping, but I mean, it's only Jameer Nelson. And John Paxson said this isn't even a deal the Bulls wanted to make, but a deal that they had to make. Nico's representative were consistent over the last several months that they wanted him moved, and they never backed off that stance one bit. I'm sure that given everything we'd heard from them though, this entire process, that he just wanted to be elsewhere. This satisfied what he wanted, more than it satisfied what we wanted to get out of him moving him. Again, it fits our timeline, it fits the direction we're going. The only real huge downside besides the fact that they didn't get much out of this trade was the fact that they had to take on Omer Asik's contract. He's getting paid a lot this year, he's getting paid a lot next year, and then he's still getting paid the year after that too. But I guess in the long run, it doesn't matter that much, since by the time the Bulls are done rebuilding, his contract should be off the books. That does it for all the news from yesterday though. Let me know what you think about all of it down in the comment section below, but now let's take a real quick look at the games from last night. This was about as good of a game as you could ask for, and this dude Jamal Murray is about to be a problem in a couple of years. He did Steven Adams so wrong. Like, I like Adams as a player. He's hardworking, humble, really underrated guy, and you just had to go out there and take his angles like that. Murray was amazing though. He dropped 33 points. Paul George was also amazing. He was on fire all night for the Thunder. He dropped 43 points, and Westbrook couldn't hit a shot early in the game, but he was setting guys up for sure. He finished with 20 points and 21 assists, and on top of that, Nikola Jokic also had an amazing game with a monster triple-double. But the biggest guy of the night was Gary Harris, as he drained a triple off the inbound pass as time expired to get the Nuggets the 127-124 win over the Thunder. I mean, that was a really freaking great game. Fans lost their minds. This one fan in particular though, as after the game, he started screaming in Russell Westbrook's face.
Russell Westbrook and a fan with a little shove right there at the end of the game. I don't know where security, whether it is late, and he pushed him aside as Westbrook was just walking off the floor.
Absolutely, the fan is in the wrong there. He should not be on the floor. He should be happy he didn't get knocked.
I hope Russ doesn't get in trouble from this from the NBA. This is more of the fans' fault. He was pretty much asking for it. If a fan gets into the face of a player and starts screaming, then I think that player has every right in the world to move that fan out of the way, just like Westbrook did. Blake Griffin made his debut for the Pistons against the Grizzlies, and he was literally the reason they won. 104-102 the final score. Pistons were plus 23 when Griffin was on the court, but minus 21 when he was off the court. If not for him, we probably would have gotten blown out last night. Blake had 24 points, 10 rebounds, 5 assists, and 2 blocks in his debut, the first Piston to post 20 and 10 in their debut game since Grant Hill. All signs are pointing towards an eventual John Wall trade over the summer, I believe. He's unhappy, the team is unhappy with him, and not only that, they play like a much better team without him. The Wizards beat the Raptors 122-119 yesterday, their third straight win without John Wall. Bradley Beal is allowed to do more. He had 27 points, 6 assists, 6 rebounds, and Otto Porter Jr., in my mind, one of the most underrated players in the NBA, is he can be much more than just a 3-and-D guy. He had 16 points, 11 rebounds, and 6 assists. Something is for sure up in Washington. Chris Paul returned for the Rockets after sitting out their last game, and James Harden played well. No 60-point triple-double, but his 28 points and 11 assists were still enough to get the Rockets a 102-91 win over the Spurs. Jabari Parker was just about to come back, and the Bucks would have finally been 100% healthy, and then this had to happen. Malcolm Brogdon goes down early. After a fast break score, he came up hobbling a bit and just went to the floor, saying to his teammates that he heard something pop, stayed down for a bit, and eventually had to be helped off the court. Initial tests say this is a quad tendon strain, and he will have more tests done today. Not only that though, but it appears that Giannis also hurt his ankle as well. He played through it, but was seen limping after the game. Look, I'm sorry, Bucks fans. I can only imagine how y'all feel right now. Wolves win 108-89. Butler with 28 points and 6 assists. That wraps up all the action from last night though. Hope you guys enjoyed the video, and if you did, don't forget to smack that like button and subscribe to the channel so you don't miss out on more daily NBA news, as well as to join the quest to 200K. Hashtag a milli in a year. Remember to vote for the player of the day, but also remember the only players whose team won are eligible to win player of the day. And yesterday, that player was none other than CJ McCollum and his 50 points in only 29 minutes. Thank you once again for watching. I'll see all of you right back here tomorrow for more NBA news, but until then, I am out of here. Peace.